goal is get people back on a repayment plan, get them out of default.
Education Secretary Linda McMahon has just launched a historic partnership to begin shifting the Department of Education's $1.7 trillion student loan portfolio to the Treasury Department. It is the boldest move yet in the administration's plan to dismantle the agency and return power to the states.
That is larger than the collective credit card debt in this country and twice the value of university endowments. I mean, that just gives you some idea of how really, truly big this is. And the fact that it was ever at the Department of Education, it makes me running the fifth largest bank in the country. I don't think that's what was ever intended at the Department of Education. If you were setting it up today and you were saying, well, let's create a student loan portfolio, your first thing that would come to your mind, I don't think would be education. I think it would naturally be Treasury. So as we have looked at where this student loan portfolio should actually be located, and I have had many conversations with Secretary Bessent, even during transition, before we were even in office, as to where this ought to be, because this is an outstanding portfolio of debt for the country, and it rightfully should be located at Treasury. So we have developed a co-administrative program. So it's not we just pick it all up out of education and move it over to Treasury. This will be phased in over at Treasury. And so the first aspect that they're looking at is really the collection of defaulted loans. And they're well positioned to do that. And I'm really excited for this transfer, which eventually will incorporate all of the student loan portfolio. But at this point, we are co-administering it with Treasury.
Secretary, how will this portfolio be run differently under Treasury compared to the Department of Education?
Well, some of it is the same insofar as there are independent contractors that are utilized for loan servicing. Treasury has many more than we do. They have experience in collecting money. You know, they are the IRS. They do deal with these contractors. So I think out of the chute, and given the fact that we've been working on this so long with them, they are well positioned to evaluate the contractors, make sure they have the right number of people servicing this loan debt, and to really get it where it needs to be.
If a student borrower is unable to make their payment, will the IRS take that out of their paycheck?
That's not the first phase of what they're doing. They're really trying. Look, the goal here is to get people back into repayment. 40% of these people, 9 million borrowers, are not paying. And I understand that under the past administration, with the Biden administration, there were so many mixed messages. The loans were going to be forgiven. This payment plan was going to be set up, on and on and on. And I think borrowers who owed money said, I don't know what to do. And why would I be repaying a loan if they're going to forgive it? I totally get that, but it's wrong. If you borrow money, you owe it, you need to pay it back. So our goal is to get people out of default, as is Treasury's goal. We want to make sure that they can buy a house, that they can get a car loan. And when you're in default, it's just such a negative on your credit record, on your credit score, that you're precluded from doing any of that. So the goal is get people back on a repayment plan, get them out of default. And under, the Working Families Tax Cut Act, there are really provisions in that to simplify this so that now they're going to be really 2 repayment streams, not 9, not 10, but get you in a program that makes sense for you and to have these account servicers that you'll be able to call in and talk to.